and welcome to the year in review of the MENA Golf Tour 2015. The journey began in Morocco with the Royal Golf Dar es Salaam Open in early April. Rabat, the capital city of Morocco, is considered to be one of the most desirable destinations for visitors from different parts of the globe. The Royal Golf of Dar es Salaam Golf Club was the chosen venue to tee off the 2015 season. Having hosted the prestigious the Hassan II Trophy, a European Tour event for a number of years, the club enjoys a privileged place in the golfing history of the country. The field was made up of more than 100 players, a mix of MENA, British, Spanish and French players amongst others. As a result, the competition promised to be tougher than ever. In the final round, Ross McGowan made a quick start as he produced a fine tee shot on the par 3 second hole. He followed it up with a birdie on the third to move to even par and came right into title contention. Stuart Archibald, who began the day at 1 over, produced a fine approach on the par 4 third, and that took him to even par. Overnight leader Manuel Trapel had a disappointing start as he dropped 2 shots in the first 3 holes. That shrunk his lead to a single shot. Hometown favourite Faisal Saghini birdied 8 to join Trapel with the lead at 2 under. Trapel then missed a par putt on the 13th, and it meant the leader after 2 rounds dropped to 1 under for the tournament. But Saghini missed his par putt on 17, another slip up for the local. A third bogey in the day put him out of the race to the top. So despite a bogey on the final hole, it was a fabulous round of 5 under 68 that sealed Ross McGowan's second MENA Tour golf victory, a win after more than 600 days. With a birdie at the last, Manuel Trapel finished in tied 4th alongside Faisal Saghini. 2014 Order of Merit champion Josh White had to settle for tied 9th. But overcoming a 6-shot deficit, Ross McGowan emerged as the champion.
The first award today is the Sheikh Maktoum Golf Foundation Award, which was introduced to recognise the performances of the MENA national members. In first place from Morocco, Faisal Saghini, and a cheque of $1,500. For the Royal Golf Dar es Salaam Open, the leading amateur with rounds of 73, 76, 73, total 222, which is +3. From England, Alex Wills. The 2015 Royal Golf Dar es Salaam Open champion with rounds of 74, 74, 68, 216, 3 under par. From England, Ross McGowan.
Next up, the tour headed south along the coast for the Royal Golf Anfar Open. Located on the mouth of the Atlantic Ocean, the city of Mohammedia hosted the second tournament of the season. The Royal Golf Anfar Mohammedia had hosted the tour since 2013. The course stretched to nearly 6,000 yards, and due to its location by the ocean, the crosswinds come into play as the day wears on. In the final round, Morocco's Armin Joudar looked in hot form, birdieing this on the 9th, arguably the shot of that day in Mohammedia. Ross McGowan looked good for his second successive title. He went to 10 under with a birdie on the 10th. Lee Caulfield took the lead on the 12th with a superb birdie, fashioned after this excellent chip. On the same hole, Paul Doherty scored his first birdie of the day, and with that he stayed within 2 shots of Caulfield. McGowan needed this par putt to stay at 12 under. The Englishman missed it, and that made it all the more difficult for him to overtake Caulfield. Caulfield needed to hold this one to stay ahead of the chasing pack. A double bogey didn't help matters, as he was reduced to 11 under, sharing the lead with Doherty and McGowan. Doherty was putting for birdie from just outside the green on the 14th. And he nailed it, just when it mattered, and that took him into the lead. The Scot held on to the lead to win the Royal Golf d'Anfa Open, his maiden MENA Golf Tour title, and his second as a professional. The 2013 Order of Merit champion Zane Scotland finished in a tie for 8th. Amin Judar emerged as the best MENA professional. It turned out to be a 4-way battle for a while, but Paul Doherty kept his calm, carding a 3 under 69 to win the title at 13 under.
First prizes today, the Sheikh Maktoum Golf Foundation Awards, which were introduced to recognise the performance of the MENA nationals. And in first place in the professional division, Amin Judar from Morocco, and $1,500. And the leading amateur in the Royal Golf d'Anfa Open, with rounds of 69, 71, 72, for a total of 212, which is 4 under, from England, James Allen. And the 2015 Royal Golf d'Anfa Open champion from Scotland, with rounds of 66, 68, 69, total of 203, 13 under, Paul Doherty. And a cheque for $9,000.
After a summer gap, the second leg of the 2015 season teed off at the home of the tour, Dubai. And there's hardly a more appropriate venue than the Dubai Creek Golf and Yacht Club for the resumption. The oldest course in the city and host to a number of European tour events, this enjoys an iconic position in the history of golf in the region. The venue has witnessed some fascinating contests in the past, and the week promised to be no different. In the final round, 15-year-old Indian sensation Rehan Thomas got off to a flyer with a birdie on the first. In contrast, Josh White, the leader of the pack, had a disappointment early on, managing a bogey at the second. A 50-degree wedge approach led to a birdie opportunity for Jake Shepherd at the fourth. He cashed in to move to 6 under. Austria's Florian Prugant replicated that at the fourth and jumped into the joint lead with White, who birdied the third. Rehan Thomas's fairy tale run continued as he holed a long birdie putt to move into the joint lead. Prugant missed what would have been a magnificent eagle. Still managed a birdie to open the gap to 2 shots at the top. Jake Shepherd's birdie on the par 4 12 helped him close the gap to 2 shots with the leader Pregant. And he continued the good work. He shot another birdie on the following hole after this excellent work out of the sand to further close in on the Austrian. Pregant though was in the mood too. He holed a birdie at the 12th to retain his 2-shot cushion after this approach. And after 6 pars in a row, Thomas managed a birdie of his own at the final hole to finish at 9 under and was joint second with Shepherd at that point. As for Pregant, he couldn't get the timing more horribly wrong if he tried for his first bogey of the day, coming on the 18th, and that forced a playoff. So after 3 fascinating rounds at the Dubai Creek Golf and Yacht Club, we headed to a 3-way playoff between Jake Shepherd, Florian Pregant and the promising teenager Rehan Thomas. And of that trio, it was Jake Shepherd who held his nerve. He secured victory thanks to this putt. Success then for Shepherd, back in the winner's circle.
In 2014, the MENA Golf Tour introduced the Sheikh Maktoum Golf Foundation Award to honour the performance of the top players from the MENA region. In first place, with a score of 74, 72, 69 for a total of 215, receiving a cheque for $1,500, Mustafa El Mous. The leading amateur receiving a Pro Shop voucher of $1,000 with scores of 66, 71, 67 for a total of 204, 9 under, and a junior member of Dubai Creek Golf and Yacht Club from India, Rehan Thomas. And the winner with scores of 67, 70, 67 for a total of 204, 9 under, and by virtue of a playoff, the 2015 Dubai Creek Open champion, Jake Shepherd.
Our next stop of the season was the capital of the United Arab Emirates, Abu Dhabi. Around 30 minutes away from the city centre, the Saadiyat Beach Golf Club is a stunning setting to showcase the sport. Having hosted the inaugural tournament on the MENA Golf Tour way back in 2011, the club enjoys a special place in the history of the tour. The flora and fauna add a world to the experience as well. In the final round, amateur James Allen got off to a great start with a birdie on the second, and he was 2 shots behind the leader, Gary King. Meanwhile, King's approach with an 8-iron on the 5th found water. "25-year-old Jake Shepherd looked in fine touch once again. He managed this birdie at the 8th to move into the lead. South Africa's teenager Tristan Lawrence continued his charge, this approach producing a birdie on the 10th, and that helped him to narrow the gap at the top. Jake Shepherd missed an opportunity to strengthen his lead, missing a birdie at the 9th, but he still held this for par. An excellent approach by King helped him get a birdie on the 10th, and he eased into joint second position at that point in time. James Allen had an eagle putt at the 11th. He just missed it, but he stayed in second position. Meanwhile, a bogey for Shepherd on the 12th squandered his advantage at the top. And his slide continued with another bogey at 16, leaving him 2 shots behind the leaders. He didn't recover after that. A bogeyless back 9 to go with 2 birdies, including one on the 17th after this tee shot, guided Allen to the top. It all meant that Gary King needed a birdie at 18 to force a playoff, and with this monster putt, he did exactly that. What a beauty. So the amateur James Allen was denied the outright win and was forced into a playoff with King. Tristan Lawrence, the young South African, just 2 shots behind in the final analysis, and a disappointing collapse by Jake Shepherd in the closing holes meant that he wasn't able to secure a victory. Allen against King then in the playoff. And King's previous experience of playoffs helped him, and he edged out the amateur to take the honours at the Saadiyat Beach Golf Club.
In 2014, the MENA Golf Tour introduced the Sheikh Maktoum Golf Foundation Award to recognise the achievements of players from the MENA region. And in first place, with a total score of 214 from Morocco, receiving a cheque for $1,500, Ahmed Marjan. Now to the championship prizes. The leading amateur with scores of 72, 66, 69 for a total of 207, 9 under par, from England, James Allen. With scores of 67, 68, 72 for a total of 207, and winning by virtue of a playoff, the 2015 Ascorp Golf Citizen Abu Dhabi Open champion, Gary King.
Welcome back to the MENA Golf Tour review show. Next up, we made our way back to Dubai for the Sheikh Maktoum Dubai Open. The city is one of the most visited on the globe. Dotted with many landmarks, the experience of touring here promises to remain etched in the memory forever. Al-Badia Golf Club by Intercontinental Dubai Festival City had hosted a tournament every year since the inaugural season of the tour in 2011. The MENA Golf Tour provides an opportunity for the course to showcase its beautiful facility and a platform to head up its busy winter season. The final round started as a 3-way battle between Paul Doherty, Gary King and Pierre Barth. Royal Golf de Anfar Open champion Paul Doherty had an excellent front 9 with 4 birdies. On the 8th it could have been an eagle, but he still had a 4-shot cushion all the same. Doherty lost his way on the 13th, finding trouble as he failed to place his approach on the green. With a bogey he slipped to 11 under, giving Pierre Barth an opportunity to come within 1 shot of the lead. And he responded well, a great approach on the 14th, setting up a birdie that helped him to the share of the top spot. On the 17th, Doherty produced a bogey and the title started slipping away from his hands as he conceded the lead for the first time. Meanwhile, Barth's birdie on the 17th helped him to take a 2-shot lead ahead of the final hole. and the Swede ended proceedings in style, a birdie on the 18th, seeing him take the title by 2 shots. It was a wonderful display of golf all week from Pierre Barth, which saw him register his first MENA Golf Tour win in just his 5th start. Pierre Barth had a shaky beginning on the first hole, and at that point he trailed by 4 shots, but a superb final round of 5 under 67 proved sufficient in the end for Barth to get into the winner's circle.
In 2014, the MENA Golf Tour introduced the Sheikh Maktoum Golf Foundation Award to recognise the achievements of players from the MENA region. And in first place, with a total score of 214 -2 from Morocco, receiving a cheque for $1,500, Mehdi Saisi. And now for the championship prizes. The leading amateur with scores of 72, 71, 75 for a total of 218 +2 from England, winning a $1,000 voucher for the Pro Shop, Alex Wills. And the 2015 Sheikh Maktoum Dubai Open champion with scores of 68, 68, 67 for a total of 203 -13 from Sweden, receiving a cheque from $9,000 per Bath.
After Dubai, we moved westward to the capital of Saudi Arabia, Riyadh. Just under 50 kilometres away from the heart of the city, the Dirab Golf and Country Club was the host for the 6th tournament of the season. It was the 3rd MENA Golf Tour tournament here, previous editions being in 2012 and 2013. Having hosted a number of professional events over the last 17 years, it's one of the most decorated courses in the country. South Africa's Tristan Lawrence had a great start to the final day, 3 birdies on the front 9, including this one set up by an 8-iron approach. Craig Hinton, who had smoked a 7 under 65 on the opening day, birdied the 5th to join Gabriel Canizares in the lead. As for Canizares, he brought his A game to the fore, birdieing the 8th to be very much in the mix. Hinton maintained the pressure with a birdie at 9. And on the 13th, Canizares had an opportunity to beef up his lead, and he did it with this excellent birdie of his own. And after a great approach with a rescue club from 266 yards, Hinton set up a birdie opportunity which he nailed on 15. On the same hole, Canizares was in trouble with rocks on the right. He ended up with a bogey. It was neck and neck stuff between Hinton and Canizares, with Hinton missing this birdie chance but saving par to stay as the co-leader. Canizares had an opportunity of victory with this birdie chance at the final hole. He squandered it, and it stayed as a tie at the top. So we headed for a playoff then, a pretty familiar sight on the MENA Golf Tour this season, as this was the 3rd time for extra holes in the last 4 tournaments. Just off the pace, Tristan Lawrence had impressed with a 10 under total. Luke Joy had a forgettable final day with a 74 to finish at 7 under, and Morocco's Mehdi Saisi finished at tied 6th with Spain's Sixto Casabono Navarro. And it was Spain's Gabriel Canizares who held his nerve in the playoff to beat Craig Hinton and lift the trophy in Riyadh.
In 2014, the MENA Golf Tour introduced the Sheikh Maktoum Golf Foundation Award to recognise the achievements of players from the MENA region. And in first place, receiving a cheque for $1,500 from Morocco, Mehdi Saisi. Now to the championship prizes. The leading amateur with scores of 69, 74, 72, receiving a voucher in the pro shop for 1,000 rials from Morocco, Ayoub Lagati. And the 2015 American Express Dirab Golf Champion from Spain, Gabriel Canizares.